The reason you're not where you want to be in life has nothing to do with your strategy, nothing to do with your network, nothing to do with your work ethic. It's the 12 words you use every single day, without thinking. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've built the morning routine, and yet something still isn't clicking. You feel the frustration, you feel the overwhelm, you feel like no matter how hard you push, there's an invisible ceiling you just can't break through. Here's what nobody is telling you. That ceiling isn't made of circumstance, it's made of language. The words you use to describe your life, to yourself, out loud, every single day, are not just describing your reality, they are building it. By the end of this video, you will understand a concept so simple it will feel almost too obvious, and so powerful it will permanently change the way you speak, think, and feel. Let's get into it. In his landmark book, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins introduces a concept he calls Transformational Vocabulary. And this is the concept we're unpacking today. The idea is this. Human beings don't experience emotions in the abstract. We label them. And the label we choose, the specific word we reach for, determines the intensity of what we feel. Think about that for a second. When something goes wrong in your day, what's the word you use? Are you furious? Are you destroyed? Are you devastated? Those are heavy words, and your nervous system knows it. When you say, "I am furious," your brain doesn't just note the emotion, it amplifies it. It floods your body with the full biochemical cocktail of fury. But what if you reached for a different word? What if instead of furious, you said, "I'm a little irritated"? Or instead of destroyed, you said, "I'm a bit challenged right now"? Sounds almost comically simple, doesn't it? Here's the proof that it isn't. Robbins tells the story of a woman who came to him after a decade of depression. 10 years. She had tried everything: therapy, medication, support groups. Nothing had given her lasting relief. And then Robbins asked her one question. He said, "When you wake up in the morning, what's the first word you use to describe how you feel?" She thought about it. And then she said, "Hopeless." Every single morning, before she even got out of bed, before she spoke to anyone, before the day had even started, she was already telling her mind, "This is hopeless." Robbins didn't give her a new strategy. He didn't rewrite her past. He gave her a new word. And over time, methodically, deliberately, she rebuilt the vocabulary she used to describe her inner world. Within weeks, her experience of life began to change. Not because her circumstances changed, because the lens through which she interpreted them changed. That lens was language. So here is the mental model shift you need to make. Stop treating your words as a report. Start treating them as a decision. Here's how to apply this starting today. Step 1. Audit your negative vocabulary. For the next 48 hours, pay attention to the words you use when things go wrong. Write them down. How often do you say, "I'm exhausted," when you could say, "I'm recharging"? How often do you say, "I'm overwhelmed," when you could say, "I'm in demand"? Step 2. Build your replacement list. For every high-intensity negative word you catch yourself using, find a lower-intensity substitute. Not a lie, not toxic positivity, just a lighter word. Furious becomes frustrated. Frustrated becomes a bit thrown off. Terrible becomes not my best. Step 3. Be relentless about the upgrade. This is the part most people skip. It's not enough to know the concept. You have to drill it until the new words become automatic. Because automatic is where destiny lives. Here's where we've been. You've been working hard, trying to build a better life, but without realizing it, the words you've been using every day have been quietly reinforcing the very limitations you're trying to escape. Tony Robbins called this transformational vocabulary, the understanding that language doesn't just describe your emotional reality, it creates it. And the shift is this. When you change the words, you change the feeling. When you change the feeling, you change the action. When you change the action, you change everything. Write this down. Your words are not a mirror. They are a blueprint. Now, here's your mission. And I mean that seriously. This is not a passive suggestion. Think about one goal you keep failing to follow through on. Now ask yourself honestly, does my feeling brain actually want this outcome, or did my thinking brain just decide it should? Go to the comments right now. Write down one word, one negative, heavy, dramatic word that you know you overuse. And right next to it, write the lighter word that will replace it, starting today. Not because it's easy, because that one swap made consistently is the beginning of a completely different life. Drop it in the comments, make it real. And if you see someone else's word down there that resonates with you, give them a reply. That's how we build something worth building. I'll see you in the next one.